Via Rail Canada, Canada's national railway. If you've ridden on Via Rail's network, you know that the trains aren't the best way to travel around Canada. Maybe it's because the trains take almost twice as long as driving, or maybe it's the fact that it's sometimes almost around the same price as flying, but takes way longer. If you look at almost every other country, they have clean, fast, and efficient high-speed rail connecting most of their major cities together faster than it would be to drive or even fly. After decades of old equipment and slow trains, it seems that Via Rail is finally taking on a new fleet of modern, faster, and more efficient train sets. Chapter 1. New SC42 Locomotives. After years of seeing the old and boring Renaissance, the Canada 150, Love the Way, and the 40 years of Via Rail paint schemes on all locomotives, the new fleet will be arriving in a much more modernized paint job. The locomotives are powered by a Cummins QSK95, which produces 4,200 horsepower. The SC42s have a tractive effort of 65,000 pounds, can house 8,320 liters of fuel, and are capable of running upwards of 201 kilometers per hour, and for all of you Americans out there, 125 miles per hour. But you will almost certainly never reach that speed due to the fact that Via Rail has a yield to freight trains, and the infrastructure isn't in its best shape. The locomotives measure a length of 71 feet 6 inches and has a width of 10 feet 6 inches. They weigh 264,000 pounds, which is the exact same weight as the SC44 charge that Amtrak is currently using. These locomotives will meet Tier 4 emission standards and will run on the Quebec-Windsor corridor. To see how all this happened, let's go back to 2018, when Via Rail was looking for a new fleet for their corridor service between Quebec, and Windsor, Ontario. Via Rail decided to go with Siemens, as other companies such as Amtrak and Brightline were choosing the company to build new train sets and locomotives for their passenger service. The cost to build 32 train sets, which consists of one SC42 on the front of the train set, followed by 4 venture cars, which I'll talk about later, and an SC42 cab car at the end, was a whopping $989 million Canadian. These new train sets will be due to enter service in mid-2022 as they are currently undergoing testing. All train sets will hopefully be in service by 2024. Via Rail is putting these new train sets along the Quebec-Windsor corridor because most of the population of Canada lives along this stretch of land. Also, the ridership on this stretch of track is a lot higher than all the other routes in Canada. Chapter 2. Siemens Venture Cars. It seems that Via Rail is finally replacing the LRC coaches and the vintage Bud cars, which are those silver passenger cars that you often see on corridor service and long-distance trains such as the Canadian service from Toronto to Vancouver. Although I'm a big fan of the sleek design of the LRC coaches, these new venture cars are sure to be much cleaner and a lot more comfortable. These new cars are the same ones that Amtrak has ordered and the ones that Brightline is currently operating with. If I'm correct, the business class cars will be operated in a 2x1 seat configuration, and the coach classes will be in a 2x2 configuration. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. The seats are made of leather and it seems that there's a lot of leg room. The bathrooms also look spacious and super clean. The cars measure 85 feet in length, 10 feet 6 inches in width, 14 feet in height, and weigh 100,011 pounds. This is a much needed upgrade for Via Rail since the Bud cars were inherited from Canadian Pacific in 1977 and were built in 1947, but have obviously been refurbished, and they aren't that bad, but they're starting to show their age. Well, there you have it. Those are the improvements that Via Rail is planning to make in the next few years. We will be seeing the delivery and service starting around mid-2022 all the way to 2024. If you haven't already seen the delivery of these train sets and you're a real enthusiast like I am, I suggest you to make the trip down to Via Rail stations to watch these new train sets as they travel east and west along the corridor between Quebec and Windsor. With that said, thank you all for watching, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.